important to you. I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. That shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Welcome to the program. Today is Monday, February 9th, 2026. As expected and predicted, the Seattle Seahawks had a dominant performance over the New England Patriots. In fact, the first time the New England Patriots have appeared in a Super Bowl since Tom Brady's retirement, and it showed as they fell to the better prepared, better coached, more disciplined Seattle Seahawks, 29-13. This Super Bowl was special for a number of reasons, and of course, with every Super Bowl or any major television event, there needs to be additional controversy and/or publicity, and Super Bowl 60 did not disappoint. Let me just take a moment to acknowledge the cultural revolution that is happening in this country, socially and politically. You know, there are a lot of people that disagree with the current administration, maybe because of the political party affiliation, maybe because of how they are extending and bending and in some cases breaking the law. Maybe they don't like this administration because of its very heavy hand when it comes to immigration enforcement and customs and border protection enforcement and detaining people. Maybe it's because this administration is linked very, very closely. Many people are very, very closely linked to Jeffrey Epstein and an entire pedophilia ring that lasted for over a decade. So there are many reasons why people may be at odds with this current administration. But then for what this president represents to then have its own halftime show where a half a dozen or more artists pulled out of the Kid Rock headlined halftime show, it's an embarrassment, and it's actually really, really sad because the people that are still supporting this administration for whatever reason are fading away into nothingness. And it's really, really sad, and it's terribly unfortunate. I got some details I'm going to share with you about the data that we have so far on which one was watched more than the other. And, of course, we have a YouTube poll because I'm just curious. You know I have an inquisitive temperament. So if you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, I'm just curious, did you watch the Super Bowl? If you did you stick around until the end of the second quarter? Maybe you were only watching Super Bowl 60 because of the commercials. I wasn't really moved by any of the commercials, but also let me tell you, I was mostly distracted during the game. In fact, I was in transit for part of the game, so I missed about half of the first quarter. But I knew that the Seattle Seahawks were going to have a dominant performance over the Patriots because the Patriots were just 4-14 last year, and then they go to the Super Bowl this year. Well, good luck to them, and that's a fantastic accomplishment, but they were ill-equipped, so I wasn't really into the game, and I'm not particularly a fan of either team. You know why I wanted to watch that damn game. I wanted to see what the Puerto Rican was going to do. And my, oh my, did he put on a show. I think the only English that was spoken was toward the end as he is moving through the sugarcane fields. You guys notice that? Remember in Kendrick Lamar's halftime show last year, there was a cotton fields? I think that Bad Bunny paid homage to that to show the colonization of the people on the island of Puerto Rico and throughout the entire Latino Caribbean diaspora. Oh, there were so many things to love about that performance, but it was in Spanish. I think that performance, I'm going to get into the details of it, as you know I will, exhibited the best of what this country is by showing other nations' flags. And that rubbed it in the face of the people that are still supporting this administration. And for the people that are still supporting this administration, your culture is fading into nothingness. And that's really, really too bad for you. But here's what I would advise and I would suggest to the people that are still supporting this administration and watch the Kid Rock halftime show. I don't know who did, because hardly anybody did, because I got the numbers on that, which are also inflated. Here's what I would suggest to those folks that were vehemently against the most watched, as of right now, the most watched halftime show in Super Bowl history. Here's what I would say to those that were opposed to that. I think you should learn Spanish. Yeah, I know, I think you should. I think your kids and grandkids should probably learn how to speak a little Espanol, because that is the direction in which we're heading. Even if you think you're going to deport all of them, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Bad Bunny guaranteed one thing about his Super Bowl performance: the rhythm is going to get you. This is from USA Today. The global music icon and titan delivered on his promise during his 13-minute halftime spectacle on Sunday, February 8th at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, commanding the stage with swagger and unapologetic authenticity. I was reading some of the commentary on social media, and because he was running all around the field, Bad Bunny was. He was jumping off the roofs and falling backwards into crowds where he was passed around after he did a backward stage dive. Bad Bunny had more yards than the New England Patriots did. He did. He ran around the field and got more yards than the Patriots. But Bad Bunny also pulled a few tricks out of his metaphorical hat for the Apple Music Super Bowl 60 halftime show. welcoming Lady Gaga for a salsified version of Die With a Smile was perhaps the most surprising guest Bad Bunny could have enlisted, as they danced feverishly and injected the performance with a feeling of family and fun. Did you see the appearance of Cardi B? Did you see her? Now, she wasn't a major part of the performance, but I think that was a little shade that they were throwing at Nicki Minaj. So there were so many wonderful elements. And I'll tell you what, let me be honest with you now. I didn't really know all that much about his music, you see. Because, it's Spanish music. I don't speak the Spanish, and that's probably why I think I never really gravitated toward, I don't really listen to a lot of world music because I'm a cerebral fella. I like the lyrics. I want to know what the song is saying. I have come to find out that I don't need to know what the lyrics are. If the beat and the music, if the beat is going on, I don't need to know that. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias. Hoy tengo a una, mañana.
I think we're going to have a different music set list on my show for a while. I was actually really moved by the music and the dance and the beautiful display of culture, but also just pushing it in the face of those other people that thought that they could have their own halftime show that would even get close to competing. Initial estimates are between 135 and 143.1 million people tuned into the Bad Bunny halftime show. The most inflated estimates that we have of, the others, the separate water fountain people, the separate bathroom people, the one that have their separate halftime show, 6.1 million. I don't believe that number is that high. I believe it was inflated. I have a list here just to do a little comparison, and I want you guys to see if there are any similarities between the top 10 most viewed halftime shows in the history of the Super Bowl. And I want to know if you guys see any commonalities. But before we do that, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe. And you'll be able to participate in our poll because I have a bit of an intellectual curiosity. Did you watch the Super Bowl? If you did you stick around to the end of the second quarter to watch the halftime show? And if you did, which halftime show did you prefer to watch? And I'd actually like to hear from somebody who watched the Kid Rock one. I don't even know where you could watch it. Was it on the internet? Was it on the Facebooks? I know it wasn't broadcast on X because they didn't get some kind of licensing correct. And I think that hurt them because a lot of that audience that would have watched what I'm going to call the sad alternative halftime show would be watching on X, on Twitter, because that is their platform, that and Truth Social. But as I understand it, they were not broadcasting the Kid Rock headline halftime show on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Let's talk to Lisa. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you doing today?
I am doing good, Sherwin. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's on your mind?
Well, when you're, anytime you have to have other celebrities in your shows, that tells you you're not that good.
Explain.
Okay, so he had Lady Gaga and also who else? Martinez, I think it's Ricky
Martin.
Ricky, whatever, I forgot his name. Yeah, Ricky Martin. Okay, they did their thing.
Cardi
B. Ricky Martin did his photo. Ricky. I don't know anything too much about Cardi B. And you had Lady Gaga.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Lady Gaga's good for her. She can sing now. Come on now. Lady Gaga can sing. Ricky Martin did his thing.
Both of whom are decorated, Grammy Award-winning artists. I think I know what you're getting at, Lisa. If you have to feature other people, then that means that the headlining artist is not that good. I think you're missing the point. It showed unity. It showed cultural unity. That's what it was. It wasn't that Bad Bunny is not that good. It's just that he wanted to exhibit and display other artists he's worked with, other artists that may have influenced him, but also to capture the moment of 1 billion people watching the Super Bowl. They may want to see a Ricky Martin, or they may want to see a Lady Gaga. I thought it was very well done. Very well done.
Sherwin.
Yes.
Okay, Kendrick Lamar. Awesome job. He had a point in his message. And he had an awesome, dance people behind him. Awesome. He did a great thing. Great show. Prince, I love my boy, but everybody found it miraculous and just wonderful that it started raining with the song Purple Rain. So, okay, that's cute and all. Yeah, get happy or whatever. Okay, but see, they didn't need no artists to showcase them. You understand? Okay, so.
But Lisa, look at the time. You have to look at the time. Hold on, Lisa. Hang on. I want you to have a better vantage point of this.
I understand what you're saying.
No, you don't. Look at what we are going through as a nation right now, politically and culturally. I thought that what was displayed. What happened to her? Oh, you hushed her up. What was displayed last night was not to be compared to any old regular performance. It was a show of cultural unity amongst a political backdrop of fascism. And I need people to understand that this wasn't just about the music, but also Lisa is you're non-political though, Lisa, so that might be outside of your field of vision. When you watched what you saw, and I have the list of top 10 most watched Super Bowls, and we love Prince very much. He was a dynamic artist in every regard, and I think he changed music for the better, but he did not have one of the most watched Super Bowl halftime performances in history. In fact, he's not on the top 10.
Are you and your dog looking for a new build home?
What the hell?
Research on Homestock.
What is happening? What? Lisa.
Hello?
What the hell? What's wrong with you? Why you?
I'm letting you talk.
All right. I guess you can talk now.
I'll let you talk.
All right, then.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I thought that somebody that had hung me up or whatever. But
no, you were just talking over me.
Sherwin, you keep saying I'm non-political.
You are.
I watch politics every day. No, I'm not, just because I don't vote.
I had it. What do you want? You can't tell me that you're political and have never voted before. Like, why am I wasting my time with that? Here's what I'm gonna do, and you all may disagree. You can disagree. I'm not here to agree with everybody. That's not my job. I am not going to platform things that are detrimental to the political future
of this country, our state, and our city. You can have a whole bunch of opinions, but if you're a non-voter and you opt to let the strength of the fascist Republican Party gain vote share because you don't vote, then just post stuff on social media, but you're not going to call my show. Because I don't want people who opt not to participate, maybe because of their own ignorance or because of their own internal protests or whatever the reason is. You're not going to be platformed on this show. This is a show for voters. This is a show for people that will actually put forth the basic minimum effort of civil rights and justice and going on and casting a ballot. Now, you can have all of the opinions that you want, but to me, your opinions ring hollow if you do not vote. Now, there's other shows you can call now. In fact, there's a plethora. I'll even do you one better. You probably could start your own show for people with political opinions that don't vote. You know how easy it is to start a podcast? You can start a podcast by accident. You just pick up your phone and hit record, and then you post it somewhere. I'm fed up with where we are, and I'm fed up with the ignorance that exists. Like, it's hard to stomach because look what it's done to our country. It's split. Our halftime shows have been Jim Crow'd. This is insane to me. I also have a standard. I have a standard for what I want to do. Otherwise, what the hell am I coming here for? What do I have a microphone for? If my standard is not honesty and truth and fact and decency, because the black people that listen to me and a couple of the white ones now deserve it. Because for so long, especially as it pertains to media, black people have gotten the short end of the stick. So if you want to listen to lesser, you can. I will not stop you. But here, between 9 and 12, there's going to be a very high standard for integrity because the people that take time out of their day to listen to me deserve it. Now, can we get back to regularly scheduled programming? Thank you. I don't know why she's calling back. Lisa, hang up, because it's just going to get worse for you. Let's talk to Ron. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
What's up, man? It's Sputnik, dude.
Oh, Sputnik in the house. My favorite black communist. You know what, Sputnik?
No,
some of your political views are starting to make a little more sense.
Dude, I'm off Trump, man. I'm so sick of him, man.
You are.
But anyway, and I used to be feeling it, but that, pause anyway.
What changed your mind?
You talking about that?
I want to know what it was, what that was the last straw for you.
January 6th. That was it.
Oh.
I was done. I said, okay, this would not have happened without him.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
That was ridiculous.
It was.
And I was pretty much done with him. Now, the Democrats do so stupidly that sometimes they make me want to go back to the ranch. But you were talking about the halftime show, right?
I think so, yes. Did you watch it? Which one did you watch?
I watched it. The Bad Bunny.
Oh, all right.
Because I was interested. I had never heard of him. So I'm like, okay, I'm an open mind. I'm a musician, so I got a real open mind about music. But my problem was, if you don't speak Spanish,
that's what I thought too. There was a visual, cultural element to where it transcended language. Not to mention the music was incredible, the rhythmic flow of how he performed, the other artists that joined him during that halftime stage, the cultural elements of him giving that little 5-year-old boy, however old the little boy was, one of his Grammys, how he's marching through sugarcane fields, because we forget that Puerto Rico was a colony too of the European settlers, and they were enslaved on the island of Puerto Rico. Like, it was more than just the music. I saw 30 or 40 different elements.
I do get that. I do get the historical element. I do get the protest part of it. The, forget you, we still Americans too thing. I get all that, man. But at the end of the day, the other part I didn't like, man, was there was some, maybe I'm just getting old, man, but it was very sexual. And, Hispanic women
there was a lot of ass.
They're some good looking, they're good looking people.
Yes.
Not over my sisters, but they close. And I saw a lot of rump.
Yes, lots of rump.
And so I was like, okay, well, I can't understand what he's saying.
So much
I'm seeing rump in the camera.
A lot of rump.
So that's all I'm getting. That's all. Yeah, that's all I'm getting.
Why would you want to deport those women? I can't understand. The only person that would want to deport those women, I think, would be gay men. Maybe Trump's gay. Maybe he doesn't like all that Spanish ass. There was so much ass. I got a big TV.
It was, man. It was really bad, especially in the beginning.
Those asses were huge on my television. I'm smacking my TV.
I thought the smart move would have been to get, I'm not saying middle of the road Hispanic artists, but an artist that is probably not going to be that sexual, but big. I don't know who that would be.
Nobody.
But
this sex all in the music.
Yeah, I can't.
Look at the top performing black female hip hop artists. They all have BBLs.
Right.
They're all, you know what I mean? It's sexist, unfortunately, and it's over sexualizing kids.
My wife said J-Lo. I was like, J-Lo is the queen of rump. So we would have got probably more rump than we got last night.
Rump.
So I didn't enjoy it at all, man.
You saw that ass and you were like, yuck. They're not speaking English and there's too many beautiful women's butts. Yucky. You didn't like it.
Well,
too much ass.
I don't know what it's saying. I mean, you couldn't know. I mean, can you make half the show English and then half the others?
Because there are people that speak other languages than English. So let me ask you this, Sputnik. There are some rappers, some hip-hop artists that are phenomenal, and I guarantee you, you have no idea what they're saying. You can't make out the lyrics. They're using words you've never heard before. They're using slang that is 20, 30 years younger than us. But we don't complain about that because that's a different language, too. Spanish is spoken by probably 600 million people on planet Earth, and the Super Bowl is a global phenomenon. Just because we never learned Spanish, which is entirely our fault, because I assure you, we had the option to learn Spanish at some point during our academic careers. Because we opted not to, we can't get mad when people want to perform in Spanish. That's our fault.
You know what? I can't. There's some truth to that. There's no doubt about it. There's definitely some truth to that. But why? I mean, because even with rap, you get the hook. You know, you might get the blah, 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 I don't know what he's saying, but then you'll get the hook, and you'll be like, okay, that's what they're talking about. But this, I just...
You can't... There's hooks in this. This makes me want to shake my rump like a thick Latina.
I don't know, man.
Okay. All right, then.
I appreciate your opinion. There's some truth in it. I understand the play that the NFL was going for because they, like you said, there's a lot of Spanish speaking people in the world, and they were reaching out to Mexico and Guatemala and, Cuba, So I do understand why they did it. It was and he's a huge star from what I understand. He's like one of the biggest. So I get it. I understand the business side of it, but I don't know, man. The Super Bowl, I don't know, man. I just...
All right, we get it.
I don't...
You sound conflicted. I'm going to let you... Tell you what, if you have some time, go on YouTube, of course, after this show is over, and just go rewatch the performance again a day later, but keep a much more open mind, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow.
I was super open-minded last night. I promise you I was. That's all right. I understand that this dude is Puerto Rican. I get it. Those are my brown sisters and brothers. I get it. But I don't know if I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what to get behind.
Fair enough. We got to leave it there because I got to take a break and I got like 5 people on hold. All right. Thank you for your call. There's so much music that we all listen to that we love where you have no idea what they're saying. I was just listening to a Diggable Planet song, and I've been listening to the Diggable Planet since I was in high school. I just learned of one of their lyrics. I've been singing this particular song for 30-something years, and I just learned the lyrics to it on Saturday. So stop it, y'all. And plus, Puerto Ricans are like, they're basically black people that speak Spanish and can swim. Because, Puerto Ricans are Afro-Caribbean. They span all colors and all skin shades and different levels of melanin. They just know Spanish and can swim. That's the only difference. I'm going to take a break, come back, grab some telephone calls if you want to give your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the exhibition of culture during Super Bowl 60. Obviously, the halftime show was much bigger and much more exciting than the game because Bad Bunny got more rushing yards running around during his performance than the New England Patriots. So that made it even more exciting. You're listening to The Truth, where we have a standard of excellence. On 101.7 FM, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage. Because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person. Complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Clearly, I'm playing this to trigger people. Clearly. Now, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was a really beautiful and colorful display of culture and of unity. And if I had to pick a version of America to live in, my version looks more like what you saw between the second and third quarters of the Super Bowl than something headlined by Kid Rock. That's just my personal preference. That is the world I would much rather live in. Let's talk to Joe from Milwaukee. Joe, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning. I mean, for me, this was one of the top performances that I'd ever seen in a Super Bowl. You know, the problem in a nutshell in our country is we are a melting pot of different people, different cultures, and all of us come from different places. So the beauty in all of it was to see a man who loved his culture and showed it in display, and I thought it was beautiful. And, I mean, they didn't like when Kendrick Lamar performed. They felt he was in English. You know, they had Brandi Carlile, who's a lesbian. She performed. Coco Jones, a Milwaukeean, she performed. The Hispanic man doing sign language. It was a melting pot of who we are as a country and as a people. And if people get uncomfortable, you know, that's something people have to look at within themselves, because this is our country and this is who we are. And Black people get it the worst because no one seems to understand their culture, who they are. And it's a huge problem which divides us in our country. And I think it was all just beautiful. It was one of the best performances I'd ever seen. And that's really what I have to say about it.
All right, Joe. Thank you for your commentary. She loved it. She thought it was beautiful. Let's talk to Nana. Nana or Nana? Nana.
Nana. It's Nana, baby. And I want to say the young lady, Joe, if I'm saying her name correctly, actually I started to hang up because she couldn't have put it no better. And I thought it was just a tremendous performance. I speak very little Spanish, but but that's by choice. If you want to know how to do something, then you have to learn how to do it. But this young man, Bad Bunny, he really sent a message out there. And all he was doing was pretty much displaying what their culture went through, where it started, where it is, and where it goes. And for him to bring all the flags through that performance, all of them were displayed, opposed to just being an American flag, because even though this is the United States, it's not just Americans living here. And another thing that bothers me is just how so many people are just looking for the negativity in this performance or in this guy. I mean, anything you look at, you can get a brand new car and find something to complain about. But as I say the same as the last young lady that called. The performance was great. I mean, it was so good. I don't even like football. I stopped watching football since Walter Payton passed. But I turned on it at the halftime performance and went a little bit beyond. And I have to say, it hyped me up big time. And as far as the dancers go, that caller that said it, the young man that said it was just too much, as you say, ass shaking. I mean, come on now, hell. How many black people don't shake their damn ass? You see them recording themselves on the bus stop doing it. Okay, so I don't see anything wrong with the ones that were shaking theirs. If you got it, then you use it.
That's right.
I thought those girls were beautiful. I thought they shook their ass very damn well, and they looked good while they were doing it. That's the way I feel about it. So would these people stop criticizing so much? Just stop the criticizing and find something fun. Look for all the good instead of looking for the bad.
Amen. Thank you for your call, Nana.
Yeah.
All right, then. Super Bowl from 2013. I can't read Roman numerals. XL 47? What year is this? Yeah, Super Bowl 47. Beyonce. Total viewers, 110,800,000. This performance was so powerful that it literally put the lights out. Oh, I remember that. The power went out during Beyonce's performance. Beyonce's show was a fierce display of choreography and vocals, highlighted by a nostalgic Destiny's Child reunion. While it ranks 10th on the list, its cultural impact and the subsequent Superdome blackout remain legendary. She had mock Black Panthers. Her Super Bowl performance was super duper black. Let me just take a little moment to pause on something real quick. The people that are taking offense to the display of many nations' flags last night, if you're an African American and you're offended by that, would you also be offended if, let's say, a black R&B or hip-hop artist performed at a Super Bowl and they displayed African flags? Would you be offended by that because that artist, who very much is American, and Bad Bunny is American, Puerto Rico is America. Do people not know that? If you didn't know that Puerto Rico is an American territory and people that are born on the island of Puerto Rico have every benefit of citizenship because they are citizens, and they can come back and forth to the United States whenever they want. You don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. The number of people I had to explain that to, even the president of the United States said, this was some time ago, he called, because Puerto Rico has a governor. He said, I talked to the president of Puerto Rico. And Trump gives this interview where he talks about the great conversation that he had with the president of Puerto Rico. Donald Trump doesn't know that he is the president of Puerto Rico. So I'm not shocked that tens of millions of people that voted for him don't know that Puerto Rico is an American Commonwealth. So anything that happens on that island, to me, is as American as something that happens in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or Detroit, Michigan. In fact, I think it's more Puerto Ricans that live in the contiguous 48 than live on the island. Madonna, the Super Bowl of 2012, total viewers, 114 million. The queen of pop turned the field into a Roman empire. Madonna's show was a grand spectacle of choreography and costumes featuring a strange but memorable mix of guests, including LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, and MIA. It set the template for the modern, over-the-top halftime production. Number 8. Unpopular opinion I'm about to give you guys. I was just recently thinking about something, and I saw the Grammys, and Bruno Mars was at the Grammys, and he performed at the Grammys. I don't know if he won an award, if he didn't win at the most recent Grammy Awards a couple weekends ago. He certainly has won Grammys in the past. I don't like his music. I don't like Bruno Mars. I think that he's a poor version of a throwback to like 70s and 80s R&B music for people that have never really heard and understood 70s and 80s R&B music. He's exceptionally retro in a lot of his delivery. He's very soulful, I'll give him that, but it's just like, you know, there's a difference between Kraft macaroni and store brand. You know what I'm saying? Like Kraft macaroni and like Kroger brand or Great Value brand. I mean, if you're really hungry, sure, you'll eat the store brand, but it doesn't quite hit the same. I just am not a fan of Bruno Mars, but he is number 8 on the list of top 10 most viewed Super Bowl halftime performances, and he garnered 115,300,000 looks. It says a relatively newer star at the time. Bruno Mars silenced any doubters with a high-octane performance that blended James Brown moves with modern pop flair, bringing out the Red Hot Chili Peppers for a rock-infused finale. Bruno Mars proved he could command the biggest stage on earth with ease. I'm going to take a break, come back, and give you the remaining most listened to, watched, viewed Super Bowl performances of all time. I'll come back with number 7 that features a couple of very familiar artists. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at HAWS Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact HAWS of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Hey y'all, it's 1017 The Truth's Rhea Riley for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments, including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Blowout Comb, this Diggable Planets album came out in 94, maybe? I didn't know what they were saying in the beginning of this song. They're saying rapping in black. I just thought that they were saying pity, pity, pat, pity, pity, pat. I just found out on Saturday. So let's stop it with saying we need to know the words or the lyrics to songs before we can like and appreciate the songs. You can name any artist and I guarantee you they have a song where you have been either mispronouncing or misunderstanding the words for 25 or 30 years. Well, maybe my perspective on music is different. Music is how it makes you feel. It doesn't have to be in English. Sometimes I listen to jazz music. It ain't got no damn lyrics at all. So then what do y'all do? The music is elemental. There's many different elements to it. But whatever. Let's see what we got here. Number 7. 7th most watched Super Bowl halftime show in the history. It was Super Bowl 50 from 2016, and it featured Coldplay, Beyonce, Bruno Mars. What's up with all these repeats? Beyonce's repeating, Bruno Mars is repeating. While Coldplay was the headliner, this show is often remembered for the, quote, battle between Beyonce and Bruno Mars, the Uptown Funk versus Formation. That dance-off stole the show, creating a moment of pure magic that was arguably overshadowed. The main act's colorful Viva la Vida celebration. I don't even remember that. Number 6 is Lady Gaga from 2017. Starting on the roof of the stadium and diving into the abyss, Gaga's performance was pure adrenaline. Her solo set was a showcase of vocal prowess and athleticism. Cycling through hits like Bad Romance and Born This Way, it stands as one of the most technically impressive shows in history. Full disclosure, I'm not really a Lady Gaga fan either. She's a great entertainer. She's a great performer. Rhea, I see you looking at me. She just is just like a Walmart version of Madonna. You know, because Madonna just pioneered so much for that particular type of performance art that there's no way that I can't compare Madonna and Lady Gaga. And Lady Gaga would probably say that she was heavily influenced by Madonna, but I also have to realize it's for a different generation. I am fortunate, and those that are in Generation X, we are incredibly fortunate because we saw both the tactile, mechanical, analog world, and we also saw the digital world, and we also can see the differences. We also existed in a time before the 1996 Communications Act, which allowed for large corporate radio stations like your Saga Communications and your Clear Channels and your other big radio stations. It allowed them, big, huge, gigantic corporate radio stations, to come and buy small, local community radio stations. There was a period of time where the people in a city, in a town, in a metro area, the listeners drove music and what music was played on radio. Since 1996, and Bill Clinton signed this one, so Bill Clinton is culpable for, I think, the downfall of the quality of music, where music used to be led by our requests. Remember calling radio stations and requesting songs? And then on the radio station, because we used to listen to our music on the radio. I know that sounds foreign to some of you. But they would do their top 10 or their top 20 based on requests that they received from us, the actual listeners. What happened was when these large corporations started buying local, community-based, city-specific radio stations, then those corporations made deals with record companies. And then they platformed the artists signed by those record companies, even if the artists weren't good, even if they lack creativity. If you play an artist enough times, and if enough people hear those artists, they're just going to start to like them because it's going to be background music and soundtracks to people's lives. Even if the artists lack creativity, even if they don't possess musical elements that people really want to hear, like real musicianship and like real abilities to write songs, these corporations would say, no, radio stations. No. This is who you were going to play because we own you. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of radio stations using their corporate broadcasting power to make stars instead of the actual people and the actual audience deciding who the star is. Like these corporations can decide. Oh no, we're going to platform this particular artist. You fill in the blank. I know a lot of us that are a little bit older are disaffected by the music that's out here because it lacks real creative authenticity. Or maybe this is just a part of getting old that nobody told me about. Number 5, Super Bowl from 2015, Katy Perry. Katy Perry got 121 million viewers. Tied with Rihanna, Katy Perry's show remains a gold standard for spectacle. From entertaining on a giant mechanical lion to dancing with the now infamous left shark. Her performance was a candy-colored pop explosion. Guests Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott added edge to the set list of anthems like Roar and Firework. Number 4, Rihanna. Rihanna was pregnant as hell. You guys remember that? That was 2023. So since we've been here at 101.7 The Truth, I actually remember my colleagues talking about Rihanna's performance. She was so pregnant. And she was like, didn't they have her like on a wire, like floating around? A big pregnant lady. Bad girl Riri returned to the stage in the most iconic way possible. They're here, floating on a platform while revealing her second pregnancy. Her solo set was a barrage of chart toppers like Diamonds and Umbrella, Ella, proving she didn't need guests or even to touch the ground to command an audience of millions. Oh, I remember this one. Number 3, Usher, 2024. Usher got 123.4 million viewers. Usher turned Las Vegas into his personal roller rink. His performance was a smooth, hit-filled journey through his R&B catalog featuring Yeah, Burn, and Caught Up. The show was a masterclass in showmanship, reminding the world why he is one of the best entertainers of his generation. I didn't feel the same way about Usher's Super Bowl performance. If you were like a true Usher fan from day one, I remember when Usher came out with his first single when he was like 14 years old, and I think he was produced by P. Diddy. Do what you will with that information. For me, it didn't live up to the hype. And then, of course, as you all can imagine, the second most watched Super Bowl performance in history was Kendrick Lamar at Super Bowl 59. Total viewers, 133.5 million. The Compton lyricist set a massive benchmark just last year. Lamar's show was a visual masterpiece featuring a melody of hits like Not Like Us and Humble. His performance, which included guest spots from SZA and a viral moment with Serena Williams, was celebrated for its artistic depth and cultural impact. And number 1, Bad Bunny at Super Bowl 60. While final Nielsen numbers are still being tallied, NBC's primary telecast estimates indicate that Bad Bunny has shattered the all-time record. His high-energy Conejo Malo production featured an all-Spanish set list, and guests like Ricky Martin reportedly drew over 135 million viewers, even though I've seen estimates as high as 143. It means that he officially dethroned Kendrick as the king of halftime viewership. So then when you tally up all of the views, because there are going to be reposts and clips on YouTube and on TikTok, I'd imagine by next year, by Super Bowl 61, which I hope the Packers are in, the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime performance will be the first halftime performance. This is my prediction now. Will be the first halftime performance to have been viewed over 1 billion times. You mark my words. Next 12 months, the only one that would have been viewed 1 billion times. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This Black History Month, 1017 The Truth, opening up the mic to Milwaukee's youth, young boys and girls sharing what Black history means to them in their own words. I'll be reading and sharing your submissions with the 1017 The Truth audience all month long. Our voices, our stories. If you know a young person with something to say, share their message on social media, tag at ToryLow_King or 1017 The Truth. Let's amplify their stories together.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Whole world, MCs, who
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So in the backdrop of all of the entertainment we saw last night, whether it was the game itself or the halftime performance, it was decidedly political. And I want to make something clear. I'm coming from a very personal standpoint with this next soliloquy I'm about to illustrate. Just because somebody is black does not mean that they are my people. If you are black and you harm black people, if you are black and you disrespect our history, our heritage, and our culture, if you are black and if you are not building, producing, and contributing for the betterment of our community, our society, and especially our children, you're not my people. So I want to make that clear, because if in these days and times, your political apathy, especially if you are black, removes you from a circle that I want to be in. And don't take it personal, right? Because everybody is not everybody's cup of tea. But I just don't want black folks to fall into this group think of, oh, because somebody is black, that's our people. Like I heard about, I listened to my colleagues talk about reckless driving this morning. And I think that it is one of the biggest unnecessary criminal plagues in our city, because a lot of it is wholly preventable. Y'all know that if you drive perfectly, you have your head on a swivel, your hands at 10 and 2, you're checking your mirrors, you still could get into car accidents. And the fact that there are people, I don't care where they're from. I'm more concerned about the ones that are in our community, because that is the likelihood that another black person is going to unnecessarily get harmed. That's what I'm concerned about. And also, over the years that we've talked about reckless driving on all of our shows, black people have wanted the most, the quickest, and the harshest enforcement. And we're getting it. Now they can tow your vehicle, and the fines are in excess of $900. And here's what bothers me, because we are the ones that wanted it. I'll give you another example. The 1994 crime bill. Black people that lived in neighborhoods that were under siege by gang violence, we wanted that legislation. But then because our memories are so short when it comes to history, we look back and we say, oh, the 1994 crime bill was racist. What was racist about it? Because black people that were going to work every single day, doing what they were supposed to do, that stayed within the confines of the law, didn't want to see their communities terrorized. They didn't want to be terrified when they walked out of the house. They didn't want to get shot by errant bullets, and they wanted swift and heavy enforcement. And because black people were fed up with other black people, we don't get to call that racist because we didn't understand history. But I'm seeing it right now. What is happening right now in this country is a repeat of a very familiar history where Americans were celebrated for being anti-fascist. I don't know if you guys know this. I got some stories here. Maybe I'll get to them at some point later on in the show, because they're worthy of a deeper dive. Do you know that ICE and the American government has sent ICE agents and Customs and Border Protection to Milan, Italy? And the Italians are like fighting in the streets. They're fighting their own police because they are angry that American ICE agents and CBP agents are in Italy, quote unquote, providing security for the Winter Olympic Games. Italy knows a thing or two about fascism, and they don't like it. In fact, their clashes with police in Italy are putting us to shame in this country. Yeah, a lot of folks didn't know that. I just read about that this morning, that Trump sent ICE agents. Why do you think they did that? You know what? I bet you we have Olympians, in fact, I know we do, that are representing this country probably better than some natural-born Americans are representing this country. And they might have, because, you can have, you can be from another country and you can be in an athletic event for the United States. There are probably some athletes, because we don't have Americans, natural-born Americans, that are particularly good at a sport, but we might have someone who's from another country, who's like mama or something, was from America, and then maybe they're speed skating or skiing for America. But I bet you we have athletes right now representing this country, representing America, in Milan, They probably are not full citizens, and maybe they got a special like athletic visa, or they got some kind of temporary status so that they could practice their sport here in the United States because we have really great Olympic facilities. I'll bet you ICE would deport people that are in the Olympics representing America if they're not citizens. Because why else would they be there? I want to share with y'all some details just so I can make sure that the people that listen to my program are fully informed and fully versed on what's going on. One of the lies that was told by this administration, and it's hard to keep up with all of them, and of course, I'll never be able to report on every single mistruth that is coming out of this administration, but the biggest one is they were going to deport the worst of the worst people, like the real bad criminals and the violent people. That's not the case. Not only is that not the case, there's a mismatch. The number of people that are being detained versus the number of people that are actually being deported. They're not deporting these people. They are keeping them in private prison facilities that have contracts with the federal government, where it's like the contracts basically say when the private prison agrees to build a facility, they charge the federal government whether those beds are filled or not. These people are being detained and they're being forced to provide cheap or free labor. So the number of people that are actually being rounded up and detained is one number. The people that are actually being deported is another. You even have people that have been in ICE facilities in these private prisons. Because remember, when they legalized marijuana, a lot of Americans stopped going to jail. But these private prisons had these long-term contracts, sometimes with state governments and sometimes with the federal government, that, hey, we're building these prisons. We need bodies in these prisons. Otherwise, we, the private prison corporations, are not going to make enough profit. They are detaining people to keep them in the private prisons that American citizens are no longer occupying. And these folks that they are detaining are not being deported because you have people that have been in these private prisons that are asking to be deported. They'd rather be in their home country than locked up, and they're making them perform free labor. So the jobs that you thought you were going to get, that all of these non-citizens were taking, because I don't know why y'all believe that non-citizens were taking your jobs. Now they're taking your jobs and doing it for $0 an hour. So why would they pay you $7 an hour or $15 an hour when you can detain someone who is not in this country legally? You got to follow me on this now. You can detain them and make them perform labor. And if you don't believe me, go ahead and look up how many American companies, businesses, factories, production facilities, and corporations use prison labor as we speak. But fewer of us are going to prison because crime and violent crime is actually going down in America. So what we're doing is we are federally criminalizing people that aren't in the country legally. Let me be clear. That's only a misdemeanor. Another problem with Trump is that he is making federal felonies out of things that are just civil penalties. That's why he wants to federalize everything, because that means he gets to control everything. And yes, he will attempt to federalize our elections. Oh, you're going to love that part. Let's talk to David. Hi, David. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. What's on your mind, David?
That's good. I was employed with a company and I was wronged or whatever, and I was told since I was employed with that company that I could only sue for like, I don't know, but $50,000 because I was still working there. So why can't we use that with Trump? But he's saying that he works for he want to sue the government or whatever for $10 billion or something like that. Why can't he be held to that certain standard if he do win? If he do win, because he could say yes, I should win the check, and they're gonna give it to him. So I'm saying because isn't he employed by the government?
Kind of. So the suit that you're talking about is Donald Trump was trying to sue somebody because of election interference. That case really doesn't exist because no judge.
No, I'm talking about now. No, I'm talking about now. He's trying to sue for $10 billion, sue the taxpayers or whatever for $10 billion because of something that
because he thought he was wrong,
was exposed or something.
So I think hold on, David. So the rules of a person working for a private employer, and I'm not even aware of someone only being able to sue for $50,000. I think if the damages exceed that, I think you can get all that you are entitled to get. But whatever the relationship is between a private employer and an employee based upon that employer's policies and the details of that case is not transferable to the President of the United States. I know that Donald Trump is trying to sue everybody. One of his lawsuits stems back to 2020 where he wants to sue because he says he won the 2020 election. He actually lost it. So he's got a lawsuit for that too, but those lawsuits aren't going anywhere. He's just doing it to stir up trouble. But I get your point, but the two were not transferable. A person suing a private employer and a sham president trying to sue the American people. A little different.
Okay, thanks.
All right then, David.
All right.
All right, now then, right. David. Okay, bye-bye, David. Let's hang up on David now. There we go. Yeah, not the same. The other thing is people take what Trump says and what he does as gospel because there's still a cohort of people that believe if the president says it, it has to be true. These are likely also the same people that will get a pop-up on their computer saying that they won $10,000 if they just fill out a form and enter their Social Security number. So when the 47th president of the United States says things that are not rooted in reality or facts or law, people tend to believe him. And then folks like myself have an obligation to clear it up, and it's a very exhausting job. Fewer than 1 in 7 of those arrested by ICE since Donald Trump returned to the White House had any charges or convictions for violent offenses, according to the Department of Homeland Security. So just that on its face. Shouldn't more people have a problem with that? You know, the Kid Rock crowd? If he was telling us, because who would disagree with wanting to remove violent criminals? Because one thing we don't need in America is more violence. We don't need more. And if there are people that are here from other places, maybe because they're evading capture in their home countries, and they're here, well, of course, that's who we want removed. I don't know how many people would disagree with that. If you are wanted for rape or for murder or some other really violent offense, well, we don't want you here. But only about 14% of the people that are being detained, including with no-knock warrants. I don't know if people fully appreciate these agencies breaking down your door and coming into your house with no warrant. And even when they do have warrants, apparently they just show it on a cell phone or something. Could you imagine that? And the people that they are detaining are not criminals. They are here supporting and propping up the American economy. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to take a little commercial break. If it wasn't for undocumented labor, the dairy industry in Wisconsin would completely collapse. A lot of our farm labor is contingent upon undocumented people. Now, I'm not going to say it's right. I'm not going to say it's wrong, but I know this much. Culver's loves to talk about his cheese curds. The cheese got to come from somewhere, because here's something else I'm coming to find out. You all that are listening and your friends and your family, none of y'all want to work on dairy farms. Go figure. None of y'all want to put the suckers up to the cow teat. None of you want to do it. But we need a dairy industry in the state of Wisconsin because we got all of the cheese. In fact, if you travel outside of Wisconsin, anywhere, and you ask someone what do they know about Wisconsin, they're not going to talk about Northwestern Mutual. They're not going to talk about our sewer socialist mayors that were some of the last socialist mayors in the United States of America. No. They're not going to talk about that. They're going to say, oh, you're from Wisconsin and cheese. You people eat cheese. Our claim to fame industry is propped up by undocumented people. Side note, those of you that don't like cheese, and I'm not talking about the lactose intolerant people, what is your life like? What is your life like if you don't like cheese? Because there are people out there that don't like cheese. What do you get on your pizza? So when you get a beef patty between two slices of bread, you just get burger? You don't. What do you dip your soft pretzels in if you don't like cheese? I really would like to hear from a person that doesn't like cheese, and not someone that's lactose intolerant. That's different. And if you don't like cheese, does that extend into like cream cheese? What do you put on your bagel? Does that extend into what kind of nachos do you eat? I'm just trying to figure out a human being, because there are people out there that don't like cheese. That's who we really need to deport. No, Sherwin, I don't like cheese. Get out of the country. You and Bad Bunny both. Get the hell out of here. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back, continue chatting with you all. Got some information about who is actually getting deported and how we are not sending these people back to their home countries. They're being confined in these private prisons where they are performing labors for basically nothing. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth Community Spotlight this Wednesday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Nicole Acosta, Director of Impact Engagement at Peak, and Tyreka Barnes, a parent of students at Peak. They will discuss how your child can do summer different through their free summer programming in Milwaukee and camp in Boscobel, Wisconsin. Again, that is the Community Spotlight this Wednesday with the Kellogg Peak Initiative at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Lofts has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Lofts today. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our text line is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. We got a little few here. Some of these go back to the first part of the show. Vince says the Bad Bunny performance was fire. And then he posted a fire emoji for emphasis. And my Spanish, Vince says, isn't even that good. I've been working on some AI Spanish trap music for about the last month, and his performance makes me want to make more. Look at that. Bad Bunny inspiring black people to use AI to make music. I'm starting to see I'm going to make myself a hypocrite here. Making AI music it's trash. It is. I went too far with it. I was excited about oh my God, I can make music. But now it's all is starting to sound the same because I can tell an AI song with lyrics. If you play me a song that was made by AI, I can tell because there's not enough like flexibility in the vocalists, and I'm starting to kind of hate it. So the AI music that I still make doesn't have any vocals in it. It'll be like the genre of like jazz or the genre of like techno music, electronic music. But yeah, the lyrics and the voices that the most popular AI music apps use it's awful. So there are some like big companies and big corporations are now using AI to create their ads and their commercials. And it's awful. Leon says Coco Jones is not from Milwaukee. Did somebody call and say Coco? Yeah, I think somebody did call and say Coco Jones is from Milwaukee. Brian appreciates me playing the Diggable Planets. And then Brian also goes to say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. 100%. Like, I get that we're a black community, but there's still differences between us. Like, all white folks are not going to say they're the white community. All black people are at different places and different spaces. Now, we have, some of us do, have a common history. But then the directions that we went in and our families went in upon arrival and upon freedom are very, 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 very different. I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, like when we hear of a violent crime taking place, first thing black folks want to know, or we hope, it's not a black person that committed that crime, because there's that dubious sense of community where if a black person does something heinous, that all black people are going to be responsible or are held responsible, or we are looked at like we committed that crime. That to me does not engender a sense of community, because I want to separate myself from undignified black behavior. And maybe my perspective is different. Maybe I have a different kind of pride in my people. But what I know about black folks is that we are sophisticated. We stay calm under pressure, and we are built to withstand the rigors of oppression. That's why what this country is going through right now, we were built for this. They weren't. They're going to struggle with this. We are not. All of what our ancestors went through, and let's be clear, we now have not suffered like they did, and I sometimes resent us comparing our struggles right now to our struggles back before black people were even recognized as human. A lot of times now, black folks are struggling because we make real bad decisions. But you can always blame racism as a scapegoat, because racism exists. It's institutional, it's structural, and I do my level best to try and break it down and explain it so that we can see the fundamental differences between institutional and structural racism and you not working hard. There's a huge difference. And what I don't want is for those who don't work hard and don't desire better for themselves and don't want to apply themselves and don't want to find a skill, and their lack of success, I don't want them to say, oh, racism. No, you first have to like really apply yourself and earn a skill, gather a skill, and then you sell your skill into the marketplace. But if you haven't done any of that, then you can't just blame racism on why you ain't got a job. Stop it. We have always been more dignified and more sophisticated than them. Even when we went out to march and to protest, knowing that we were going to get beat to death, we still did it in our Sunday best, knowing we were going to get blood on our church clothes. There's a sophistication to blackness. And this is why I get offended when, a restaurant puts up a sign that says, oh, don't come in here if you smell like weed. And black people are literally justifying why that's racist. What? Why are we equating blackness and black culture? And maybe it's a younger version, and I hate to see our culture go on a decline, where there's a younger version of African American that sees it as a badge of honor, maybe, or some kind of status if you're walking around in public smelling foul like potent marijuana. That's awful. And if a restaurant, not even necessarily the management, because I think a lot of times management doesn't care, but if other paying customers are complaining and they're going to stop going to that restaurant or any other restaurant because of a foul-smelling element. Let me just speak for myself here before y'all think I'm generalizing to everybody, which I am not. One thing I don't want to smell when I'm going into a restaurant, especially the breakfast restaurant, I don't want to smell weed. I want to smell pancakes. I want to smell bacon. I want to smell coffee. I don't want to smell weed. You're interrupting my sensory perceptions, my experience of smelling the bacon. Don't interrupt my smell of bacon and coffee. Do eggs have a smell? Maybe they do. Don't interrupt my smells of delicious foods with your loud weed. Don't do that. And I would complain too. I just can't have people that don't know black folks, and a lot of white folks don't know us. A lot of them do not. But unfortunately, because we live in segregated communities, because if there's no alcohol or a sporting event involved, and it's certainly not church, and it's not really other social aspects, but it's usually alcohol or a sporting event where black and white people, at least in this city, are comfortable getting together. There's a few other places, public places, maybe. Even if I said jazz in the park, which is diverse. Well, no, jazz in the park is mostly black because we scared off all the white people. But it's a sporting event or there's alcohol involved, usually both. But those are not good tells of the intricate details of what a culture is. And why it's a problem is because black history is not taught. So white folks, when they look at us, they have no reference point. It doesn't make any sense to them because they're only comparing themselves and what they know about their history, which was taught, to what they see when they look at us. And we have very different, I'm going to call them phylogenies of our histories. And if white people, especially in this city, are making decisions on behalf of black people and they don't know us, it is a disaster. Because white people are disastrous when they are in charge of making decisions on behalf of black people and black culture. Because they don't know. And it's an ignorance is what it is. And it's unfortunate. What time is it? 27? Take a break, come back. I'm going to get back into this story. A previously undisclosed document obtained by CBS News shows that only a small fraction of the nearly 400,000 migrants detained by ICE since last January are violent offenders, undermining the administration's vow to target only the worst of the worst immigrants as part of its hardline mass deportation campaign. I'm going to pick that up on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Injured at work, unable to work due to health problems, or denied veteran benefits you're entitled to? Last year, Tayback Law returned over $73 million in wrongfully denied VA and Social Security benefits to people in our communities. Tayback Law celebrates Black History Month by bringing its message to 101.7 The Truth. The team is thrilled to see Milwaukee achieve this exciting new outlet for speaking truth to power. And Tayback Law is always ready to fight for you. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Christina says, I went to the Dollar Tree on East Capitol. You're already asking for it if you're going to the Dollar Tree on East Capitol. Because I was in the area, she says, to grab some coconut oil. The whole store smelled of weed. I was so upset and irritated because I did not have time to go to another. She goes on to say, so I feel like the staff was probably smoking weed in the back. So discouraging because patrons are forced sometimes to spend dollars where they don't want to spend them. Not that I want to drift off into this topic, but I think it's a worthy one. The problem that I have, because I'm also cautious of society because people out here are just nuts. You never know when something is going to happen. You never know when somebody's going to start shooting. You never know when somebody's going to crash out. And when I'm in public and I smell the marijuana, I'm dealing with the unknown of being in public and also somebody being intoxicated, because I think that's the part. Because marijuana, since it's become legal, and there's dispensaries here in Milwaukee, make no mistake about it, y'all think it's illegal. It technically isn't. If you have over a certain amount, you can get a fine for it, but it's not illegal. I listed off a half dozen dispensaries that are in the city of Milwaukee. There's one on Farwell that looks like a department store. They got glass shelves and cases, and they got edibles and gummies and flour that you can smoke and a whole bunch of different types of vapes. So marijuana is very, very prevalent. And because it is so prevalent and it's recreationally legal in, oh my gosh, probably close to 2/3 of the states in the country, people forget it's an intoxicant. I don't want to be in a society, and how also can a society function when people are high? Because something is legal doesn't mean that you have to do it all of the time. Alcohol is legal too. I don't want to go somewhere in public where I have business to take care of, or I'm running an errand, or God forbid I'm at a doctor's appointment and my doctor smells like vodka. I would be equally as upset, and I'm more upset than more of you all aren't upset, that we have a whole generation of people that are intoxicated walking around in public. It also suggests something very dark about the state and the status of our mental health, where you got to get high to leave the house. I know people that can't even function until they get high. That is a dependency, ladies and gentlemen, and we should not accept that. And if a restaurant or a store or any kind of establishment that relies on customers coming in, and if they don't want people that are intoxicated coming into their establishment, I support their right to reject those people, because you never know how an intoxicated person is going to act. They may act in a way that is different than how they would act if they were sober, right? And if they're acting in a way because they are intoxicated, they may get dealt with in a way because they are intoxicated and unpredictable. And a lot of really terrible things happen to people when they are high and they are drunk in public. And so we should not have to accept it. I think that we have just accepted a lesser version for our society. And who does that help? We got kids watching every single thing that we do. And if we're accepting a lesser version, like, I will never accept I don't care what the white folks do. We can't stop them anyway. We can't make them be decent. We can't make them leave us alone. So I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about black folks. And I will not accept nor excuse bad black behavior. I don't, because we have a standard for one another, or we should. I ain't got nothing to do with them. Even the Latinos and the Hispanics, I can't have a standard for their behavior because I don't speak enough Spanish. I speak a little bit, though. Yo hablo un poquito español, pero mi español es no bueno. Necesito muchísimo practicar. I know a little bit now. I'm not Bad Bunny level, you know. If they're talking about me, because sometimes the Spanish-speaking people, they'll talk about you. Not as bad as the Asians. Black women, you know that when you go into the nail shop and they're doing your feet, they're talking about you. But if there's somebody speaking Spanish, I know certain keywords to listen for. So I might turn around, I speak a little Spanish right back to them. And they're so shocked because I can make my very limited Spanish sound like I know how to speak it. And then once they hear me speak, because I got a little bit of an accent. Un poquito accento. You just got to draw it out a little bit. They think that I'm actually authentic because it's Spanish-speaking people that are as dark as me, if not darker. It's Puerto Ricans as black as the ace of spades. Cubans too. So they don't know if I'm from the island of Dominican Republic. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, here we go. A previous undisclosed document obtained by CBS News shows that only a small fraction of nearly 400,000 migrants detained by ICE since last January are violent offenders, undermining the administration's vow to target only the worst of the worst immigrants as part of its hardline mass deportation campaign. If I just look at the cultural happenings over the last, say, 24 hours, I think there's a cohort of people in this country, and yeah, I suppose I could find some data to back it up, that feel like they are losing their iron cultural grip on what America is. And they believe, some of them do, that if you just remove all of those other people from this country, then America will be great again and be what it once was before it was as diverse as it is. It's not even about the diversity of this country. It's how incredibly productive immigrants are when they get here. If they just got over here and did nothing, that's different, but they're productive and they're getting into colleges and universities and they're starting businesses and they're making money and they're buying real estate and their cultural impact is tangible. And there are some people that grew up in a developmental environment where they listen to their mom and their dad and their uncles and their aunts and their grandparents talk about all the opportunity that they had as white people. They could do whatever, go wherever, get into any college. They just had the ultimate freedom. But see, now that America's more diverse, this newest generation of white folks, you got to compete. Where there was a period of time where you could just be white. How nice that would have been, right? Hello, bank manager, I'm white. Give me a $300,000 loan for my business. Ha, 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 ha. And they give them $300,000 in cash and they'd all laugh and smoke cigars. That doesn't work like that anymore. I wonder if it ever worked like that. If that's the case, then I get why you whites are upset. But then when they see the music display that they saw during what is a uniquely American spectacle, which is the Super Bowl, I'd imagine that makes them feel small and discounted, like, oh no, we're really losing our culture. And that is why Donald Trump can be excused for being either, well, he's certainly a rapist, a pedophile, or at least pedophile adjacent, because if Donald Trump can be all of those things and more, as long as he is agreeing to save a mythical version of whiteness, they'll let Trump get away with anything. Because they think they're losing their country to people that are brown, that are black, that speak Spanish, that have naturally curvy rumps. Nana called in earlier and she talked about all of the rumps that were shaking during the Super Bowl. See, some of them don't have, they're unrumped and they get very jealous. Like, I get it. But when they had their opportunity to create an America that respected all people, they really opted not to do that. And one of the reasons why I think America is falling, and it's not because of our lack of productivity. We still have really, really smart, talented people here. I think we do still lead the world in certain types of technologies when it comes to manufacturing, computer chips. I think we still lead in all of them. But why I think we are failing is the way that Americans look down at other people and other races and other cultures. Because can we just admit something? I want to say this and be objective as possible, and I don't want y'all to get mad at me, especially the whites. Even white people know that if everything was centered around white culture, it would be boring. Food would be boring. Entertainment would be boring. Dancing would be boring. Cultural attractions would be boring. Some of the best of what we have in this country was curated and created by non-white people. Can't we admit to that? Even the white people that like hip-hop. That's not your art form, it's ours. And yes, there's a couple of white rappers, like Eminem. He's good. Who else is a white rapper? Well, there's Eminem, right? But I think that's why we are a laughing stock and why it's so embarrassing, because Americans, a certain cohort of Americans, doesn't respect the diversity that this country is. Doesn't that say a lot about you as a country if other people want to fight tooth and nail to get here? Doesn't that speak volumes about this country? And let's say I owned a nightclub, which I do not, but let's say I did. And if Latinos and Asians, God bless the Asians, and black people and white people wanted to come to my nightclub, and if I looked out the window of my nightclub and I saw a line of men and women and they-thems, that's fine, and transgender people and Asians and mixed race people and Alaskan Islanders, if I saw this diversity of people wanting to come to my club, I would feel a tremendous sense of pride. I wouldn't get my pride from, oh, there's only black people here in my club. In fact, I'd be a little nervous. A little bit. If the only people in line to get into my nightclub were black, I'm like, well, I hope they're all well behaved. The data also shows that 42% of the 392,619 ICE arrests between January 21st, 2025 and January 31st, 2026 involve people with no prior criminal charges or convictions. 40% were accused only of civil immigration offenses, such as living in the United States illegally, with around 11,000 accused of allegations such as interfering with ICE operations. The Trump administration has been widely condemned for the aggressive tactics of masked ICE agents in the U.S., in U.S. cities, as they carry out immigration raids. The President and Homeland Security Secretary Christy Ice Barbie Nome have repeatedly rejected the criticism by claiming officers are removing murderers, pedophiles. I know they didn't say pedophiles in this. Are removing murderers, pedophiles, rapists, gang members, and terrorists from the U.S. I think they also called the two American citizens that were killed by ICE agents domestic terrorists, too. They have such a unconventional definition for pedophile, this administration does. Because I thought that definition was pretty universal. You know what I mean? But I guess it depends. If it's someone affiliated with Trump and the elite people, then it's not pedophilia. Then it's sexual contact with an underage woman. It's a little different than pedophilia. If it was anybody else, oh, you're a pedophile, you're going to jail forever. But because it's them, they are women technically who were just slightly underage, which means it's not quite that bad. You know, it's a really weird example, but also it's embarrassing for this country. Stuff was so much better when Obama was president. Obama's still living rent-free in Trump's head because the monkey thing with him and the little video they put out, like, come on, dude. Like, seriously? Just so much better when Obama was president. But then there's the backlash, and the backlash, of course, is Trump. So the Europeans, if they had like high positions, like because a lot of people were in the Epstein files, but if someone occupied a high level, like somewhere like in Parliament, and they were in the Epstein files, all of those people have been removed from government. We ain't removed anybody. That is an embarrassing difference. In any other European country, if someone was accused of what we see in black and white in those Epstein files, they would be removed from government immediately by the people. But because of what Donald Trump represents, he represents a mythical fantasy version of America that is never coming back. I don't care how many people you deport. America doesn't have the ability to go backwards. It doesn't. As much as we wanted to, as much as we are nostalgic about the past and we idealize the past when everything was greater, I'm going to tell you what, if you think that that's possible, today is Monday, right? Try to make Sunday come back. I'm serious. If you think that America can go back to some point that we were in history, try and make today yesterday. You can't. Now, Sunday will come again, but it won't be yesterday. It'll be next Sunday. We only can move forward, ladies and gentlemen. We only can move forward. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the podcast, Bucks radio host Justin Garcia hops on with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
City Conference season is coming down to the wire, and we have a battle of two of the top teams in the City Conference Gold Division. Tune in Thursday night as the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats go on the road and look to knock off the top team in the City Conference, the Milwaukee Juno Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. This is a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals and the plates are piled high with flavor, and lakefront sunrises set the stage for unforgettable days. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring. It's a place that welcomes you with open arms, where joy is shared through bites, musical beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on 101.7 The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. So I posted a picture of a fish fry that I enjoy. I love a good fish fry. And fish fries are not just for Fridays. You can get you a fish fry whenever you want one. But I went to a restaurant that I frequent, and I never had their fish fry before. Every now and again on Fridays after my show, I'd take myself out to lunch. And last Friday was one of those days. And so I had been to this restaurant. I can't tell you how many times. I hang out there socially. I watch sporting events there. But I never thought to try the fish fry. Because if I'm going to have a fish fry, I'm going to go to a place that is known for their fish fry. Well, this place is not known for their fish fry. But my God, they should be. I almost don't want to say it. There's a place that I have been talking about and supporting and promoting as the top fish fry in the city of Milwaukee. And you guys know that's the Packing House, but I think the Packing House has been bumped to number 2. Please forgive me, Packing House ownership, management, and employees that happen to be listening to my show, but I think I found one that's better. Here's the problem. I'm not going to tell you what restaurant this is. And let me explain. Because I don't want you going. Because you might ruin it. And when I went on Friday, I was the only one there. And I loved it. Because it's not a place that's known for lunch. And it was so quiet. And they had a little music playing in the background, a little R&B music. And it was blissful. And I got excellent service because I was the only customer. I don't want you going because you're going to make it crowded. And some of you are going to go there and you're going to smell like weed. I want to share it with you, but I need a couple of spots in this city that none of you all know about. One of the things that I love about this city is it's not big, but there are places that exist that are fantastic. The food is good, the service is good, the atmosphere is impeccable, and they're not known. They're only known by like a cohort of people, or maybe people that live in that neighborhood, because you know Milwaukee is a city of neighborhoods, and you can't go to every spot, every place, every lounge, every bar, every music venue. You simply can't. And man, there's some hidden gems, and I love that about this city. But if I get on this microphone and if I share with you the hidden gems, guess what? They're not hidden gems anymore. And I really wish I could tell you, because I want you guys to experience the fish fry that I had. It was beer battered and light and flaky and delicious. Usually cod has no flavor. Oh, they season this cod. Oh, and the clam chowder I had, let me just take a moment on the clam chowder. You know, if you get clam chowder anywhere outside of Maine or Boston, it's mostly potato. I mean, you got a few little clams. You know, you don't get a lot of clams typically. And I think the Wisconsin folk are used to not getting a lot of clam in their chowder. Let me tell you about this clam chowder. Not only did it have a little hint of spicy spice, every spoonful of this clam chowder, I posted a picture of it on my main Facebook page. Every spoonful of that clam chowder had more clams in it than you would get in a typical bowl of clam chowder from a lesser restaurant. I really want to tell you what restaurant it is, but I can't because I don't want you going. Go to other places. In fact, if you listen to the Milwaukee Experience this Friday at 11 a.m., I'll give you substitute places that have a fish fry that is worthy of your dining and your dollar, but you're not going to go to this place, because as soon as I say the name, some of y'all will go there right now, and I can't have that. Now, if I come to find out this place is under threat of going out of business, then maybe, because I don't want to lose it, then maybe I would share it with a select few of you. But some of you don't know how to act. Is it okay to say that? If I'm being honest? Some people have poor etiquette. It's not even how you exhibit your behaviors while you're eating. It's something like, if you go to a place, a very expensive restaurant, and let's say they're known for steak. That's a steak house, a steak joint, a classy place. I'm talking about better than Applebee's, like a classy joint, you know what I mean? And if you get a bone-in ribeye, or if you get a filet mignon, which is a very fancy piece of steak, or you get a porterhouse and you order it well done, you don't do that. Don't do it. Get a hamburger. Get some dino nuggets. Right? Get some chicken fingers if you're going to order. Come on, don't do that. I had an event some years ago, and I invited a friend, and I told her that she could also bring a friend. Biggest regret of my life. So we went to a fancy steak place here in the city. Not only did they both order their steaks well done, one asked for ketchup and the other one asked for A1 steak sauce. You guys know that when you are getting a $110 piece of meat, you ruin it if you get it well done. And if you put A1 steak sauce on it, I never spoke to either one of them ever again. They couldn't figure out why. A1 steak sauce? And even the server was like, huh? I think we have A1, but no one ever asked for that here. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
Yes! We got some news for you. Sister Bailey.
Yes!
Inform Truth Nation.
Yes!
What is coming and what they need to do.
They need to mark their calendars.
Yes!
For Friday, February 20th, for the 2nd Annual Truth Community Awards.
Read!
Hosted by Home of Love.
Yes!
And your girl, Bailey Coleman.
Talk to me!
Celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. And here's the important part.
Yes!
Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017thetruthAwards.com to learn more. Woo! 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Venue 3.
We gonna be there! We gonna be there! We gonna be there! We gonna be there!
The Truth Community Awards are presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Milwaukee College Prep, Cousin Subs, Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. I want to give you guys some details on how the point is not even to deport these people, because there are individuals who are being detained. They've been detained for months, and they're asking to be deported, but the Trump administration is not deporting them because they are being used to fill beds in private prisons and to provide low-wage, if not unpaid labor for companies and corporations, meaning the jobs that you think you're going to get with an immigrant population being detained and deported, you're never going to get. They want to step completely over the American worker. It's why Republicans don't support organized labor unions, because that gives strength to the men and the women that actually produce. They would rather have detainees in prison producing things for no wages as a condition of their confinement, and then go from that to robots and artificial intelligence. There is no motivation nor incentive from the Republican Party to hire American workers. There is not. The Democrats are the only political party that still support organized labor. Now, I'm not saying that the Democrats are perfect, but look at the alternative. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, America is never going to produce perfect. But do not let perfect be the enemy of the good. Now, for me, it's very easy. There's one political party that is fascist. There's a political party in America that discourages and disparages people that are anti-fascist. I still can't wrap my head around that. That calling somebody Antifa anti-fascist is a slur? What? World War II was to extinguish fascism. American GIs that were celebrated when they came back after World War II. Now, World War II was also the atomic bomb, too, which can't really have a war going on when one side has a firecracker that big. But the whole point was to extinguish fascism. So American GIs were anti-fascist. Now, if you call somebody anti-fascist, then they're a domestic terrorist? I never in a million years guessed that America could turn into this. But it all stems from people's fear of diversity. Oh, my God, what happens when white people start losing population? Oh, my God, what happens when more people are speaking Spanish and more people are coming from other countries and more Africans are here and more African Americans are here? Oh, my God, what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? The food is going to taste better, the music is going to be fantastic, and the dance moves are going to be stellar. Oh, no, America's failing. Oh, it's terrible. Let's talk to, hey, Al. Al, you know what? I love your Facebook postings when you were out and about over the weekend. They are so creative. Unfortunately, I can't share some of your Facebook posts with the listening audience, but man, you really be out there having a good time, Al.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, you gotta live life, and you gotta have fun, no matter where you are, no matter where you go. But the first thing I was going to say, a lot of these people who voted for this, they know these people wasn't taking their jobs. They know that, and they know the only reason they're by minority because nobody is letting them flood that vessel. And these same people who talk about making America great, they didn't even fight for the country. And how you going to say America first when how many of their wives was American? Maybe one at the most. So you can't say you about America and you didn't even fight for your country and your wives is not even pretty much American. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't he a second generation immigrant or something like that?
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
I think his father was born here. I think it's both his parents were, right? His grandparents may not have been born here.
Okay, and then moving forward, you bring up pedophilia. So you got to understand, for some white people, they're not going to speak too much about it because it's in their culture. See, during that time, Daddy would come home high. He didn't did them 6 lines of cocaine that he took the mirror off the wall, and then he came in the house drunk. Then, the woman he said I do, he really didn't want to touch.
Al,
so, he
be
took
careful. I feel like you're about to cross the line.
No, what I'm saying is a reason why they're not speaking it because that pedophilia is in their household, and that's why a lot of their daughters was runaways. Because Daddy was going to Pound Town on his daughter.
That's the line.
And 9 out of 10.
That's the line I didn't want you to cross.
And then they would send their daughter away, but everybody in the neighborhood in a 20-block radius knew about the daughter who was meek, give good head, and the only thing she had in her back was the springs from the mattress. So, of course, a lot of them are not going to say nothing about it because it's in their culture. And the reason why it's in the culture, because, see, the mother of the house didn't keep both her feet in her husband's ass and her hand around his neck. Because, see, they was raised to be a wife, not a mother. See, when it comes to certain women, they wasn't playing you touching on their kids because you was probably met with a meat cleaver or the whole family was going to beat your ass. So that's why they're not speaking against pedophilia. And if you look at the Republican Party, if you see racism, you're going to see rape. If you see rape, you're going to see pedophilia. It goes together like a bad recipe. That's why they're not talking about it, because it's in their culture. And even when you look at the migrants, they're getting mad at the migrants, but they're not getting mad at the white people who was hiring them. A lot of these billionaires had illegals working for them, but they wasn't hiring them. And if they fail to realize or not, if you are a working class white, these wealthy millionaires, billionaires are still going to look at you like a wigger, B-I-T-C, and you can say the other letter. That's why they're so mad. But don't get mad at Mexicans and don't get mad at blacks. Get mad at your own culture because you really don't have it. Your tax bracket ain't changed. You still got an alley. You still living check to check. You probably got a Buick in your driveway and a Dodge Ram with a blown motor that's sitting next to the garage. You're probably shopping at Fast and Friendly. You're probably using coupons when you shop, and you're sitting at home, man, twirling your fingers, mad at other people because they living a better life than you. You have yourself a good day, and remember, it's in their culture. Have a great day.
Had to throw in a little Bad Bunny there. I told him, didn't I, Zach? I said, don't cross the line.
Yeah.
He said, okay.
Yeah, he tiptoed and then he jumped over it.
He even said a little Bob line. I said, Al, don't cross the line. Okay. Hi, Nana. Nana.
I'm going to correct you this time. Nana, not Nana. 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 Okay, but anyway, I'm listening to your radio station because I'm driving around today. So this is my second time calling in. And it's just really ironic that the caller before me be hitting it right on the nose because I truly feel that way as well. Now, you say this is the truth station, right? And you don't want him to say certain things, but it's the truth.
Well, because it's vulgar. That's why. Because some people are listening. They're like church folk. You know what I mean? And they're real sensitive to the naughty words.
Okay. Trust me. They done heard it, probably do it too. But anyway, what I wanted to say was, speaking in regards to the Trump administration, the people he chose that's supporting him, I totally agree. They're not going to address that child molestation because that's normal to them. When I was a kid growing up, it was not unheard of that a white man was sexually abusing his daughter. The wife didn't put him out, didn't leave him. If anything, they put the daughter out first or get rid of her, most definitely when she ended up pregnant. And then So, to Trump, the Epstein files, the people that are listed in there that did those acts with children, that's no big deal to them. And then I want to say something, because a few days ago, I don't know if it was you or the other talk show host, but I believe it was you, said you voted for Trump, right?
Hell no. Why would you think
it was
that?
the other guy, Tory. It was Tory then. Okay. And then
Do you
what
think
he
for a
said
second
was,
that I voted for Trump? I'm just confused.
You out of your damn mind.
Well, I'm just saying, I didn't know who was on the radio today. I didn't know if it was you or the other guy that spoke and said he voted for Trump. But I wanted to call in and say this in regards to that. He's just as dumb as Nicki Minaj, because he voted for Trump and he said he felt like Trump has overcome a lot of things and he thought it was okay to vote for him. How the hell you overcome sexually abusing a child? That child that they sexually abuse is never going to overcome that. So that really disturbed me, and it made him proud. And I'll tell you black people this, it don't matter how much it doesn't matter that you voted for Trump. It's Trump. It's not going to change his mind on how he thinks about blacks. You see how he posted Obama, and just because you voted for Trump and you black, you're still going to be black, and he's not going to like you no more.
No, before you go,
and that's the fact.
We have 5.
Yeah, so
we have 5 different radio shows on 101.7 The Truth. So I don't want you to think it's just me and the other guy. There's 5 shows.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. But this is actually a new station to me. My daughter turned me on to this, and I guess I've been tuning in since then. I was still on some old school stuff, 98.3.
Homer Blow is
one of your radio hosts was like, he was so proud to say he voted for Trump, and I just thought that was so sick. It almost made me turn the radio off, but I wanted to hear how much more stupid stuff he was going to say. So I apologize for getting you confused with that guy.
Apology accepted. You have a good day now.
All right.
Okay.
You too, baby.
All right, baby. All right. She was like, I don't know who it was. I think it was you that voted for Trump. I thought that the two of us are different. Not to her. Well, she said it was either me or the other guy. So there's a whole show that's in between me and the other guy, so she clearly don't know about Kyle.
She just hasn't listened long enough. You got to give her the benefit of the doubt, Sherwin.
And I tried to tell her about the morning show. She just kept talking over me. I was going to give her the lineup like you suggested. It's wild that we've been here for 5 years and there's still some people that don't know we exist. That's just, to me. But not everybody listens to talk radio. And for those that don't, I don't blame you. Now, there are some people where talk radio has been a part of their media diet since they were kids because their parents or their grandparents had talk radio on. But if you're not from one of those families, then this is not how you get your information. So I don't fault her. But
that's why it's important for Al not to go over that line. Because there's some people that don't know who Al is. They don't know that he's already had a trial and almost lost.
No, he didn't. He landslid. So here's the thing with Al. They love him or they hate him, but way more people love him. Because when I have events, there's a line of people to meet Al. Or if people can't make it to one of my events and I post pictures, everybody wants to know, sure, when I couldn't make it, which one is Al? And it's mostly women. However, there's a bunch of men that took pictures with Al too. I would tell y'all right now, Al looks nothing like he sounds. In fact, if you saw him, you wouldn't think in a million years that that's him. Now, I know that some people may stereotype him based on how he sounds. 90% of the men that would stereotype Al and think that he's weak and soft, Al would kick your ass. Al's huge and stays in the gym. So you can say whatever you want about him, but wouldn't that be something if Al kicked your ass?
And then took your girl?
Yeah, oh, yeah. And then maybe you too. I'll take both of you with me. Come on. Hey. Let's talk to Black Conscious. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Al is everything that he looks like and some. Knowledge itself of good health. Just kidding, Al. You know you're my brother. But I find it strange. Find it really strange. All these people's worry about immigrants taking their job, but they never seen Dush come in, and I'm talking about Doge. Dush came in and took all your jobs, and you still support them. So what's the realness here? What's the real message here?
The message is that you call Doge Dush.
Yeah, they are douches.
I think
I spoke correctly.
It's douche, which is not.
And
it's not healthy.
Douche, dush, whatever. It's not healthy, but it is what it is. I guess if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But in this case, I'm going to call the thing.
Dush.
So, yeah.
Say it one more time.
Douche, douches. I want to make it plural. However you want to say it, tomato, picking on what side the town you're on. If you're from the south side or from the north side. But you get the gist.
Yes, I do.
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's up?
Who are you talking to? You must be talking to
You
someone.
still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
I'm talking to you. No, I'm talking to you, brother.
What's going on? I don't know. I'm here at the job, hanging out. I'll be off in about 45 minutes, though. So I'm just at work, just chilling, talking about stuff.
But I enjoy your topic today, man. I just wanted to come in and, share that with you. The people that you worry about taking your jobs, and you supporting the people who really did take your job.
All right. Thank you, sir. Black Conscious. We always love hearing from you, buddy. Okay, then. All right. Automation and technology is probably taking more jobs than Maria from Guatemala. That's what I think. Or if you're not updating your skills, then you're probably going to get passed by. We also, as black people, sometimes have this romantic fantasy that a whole bunch of manufacturing jobs are going to come back. No, it costs too much to manufacture stuff in America because you got to pay American workers a lot of money. You got to give them sick days and vacation days and the cost of health insurance. It's really expensive to manufacture things. Do I wish that we made more things in America? Absolutely. But here's the other problem with that. If something is made in America, like cell phones, right? They did an estimate because Donald Trump said early on in this term, he said, I want all iPhones and cell phones to be made in America. And they gave an estimate. The lowest price for an iPhone would be like $3,500 if it was made in America. Now, the thing with iPhone users, they'd still buy it. You could take a piece of dog poop and say it's the new iPhone 19, and like 10 or 15% of iPhone users are still going to buy it because that is a cult unlike anything I've ever seen. But making things in America is too expensive, especially because wages have not gone up commensurate with the cost of living and inflation. So making things in America, while it may employ more Americans, Americans won't be able to afford the products. And we couldn't ship the products overseas because other countries don't want American products and they have tariffs on our stuff. All right, let's take a break now. You know what we need? We need teachers and doctors. Anybody in the medical field, that's where we have our biggest shortages. But I read a list off of all the different industries that need people desperately. There's only one category of profession that's listed as critical, and it's teachers. So instead of telling every black person to go be a welder or HVAC or a carpenter or an iron worker or getting in the trades, we need teachers. And black children need black teachers. They don't need more white teachers. I mean, white teachers are okay in moderation. Kind of like chocolate pudding. You can't eat chocolate pudding all the time. You got to eat it in moderation. White teachers are okay in moderation. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes in moderation. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
I got money now. Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Tired of managing your rental property? Or maybe you just don't know where to start? At Odom Investments and Property Management, our professional team handles everything from tenant placement to maintenance and rent collection, so you don't have to. Let us take the stress out of property management. Call 855-ODOM-WAY or 855-636-6929 and experience the Odom way today.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Aquí estoy, MC Kid Frost. Yo soy jefe, patrón, it's the big boss. My cuenta's loaded, it's full of balas. I put it in your face and you won't say nada. Vatos, cholos, you call us what you will. You say we are assassins, you choose not to kill. It's in my brother be an Aztec warrior. Go to any extreme and hold no barrier.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we're honoring the voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in for Dr. Ken's Trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know, and Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth. Tune in all month long to 1017 The Truth as we lift up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history. It's happening every single day, Black History is. 1017 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. Somebody called Dr. Ken's show on Friday to play trivia, and somebody confused that person with me. I'm very offended by that. Why would I call Dr. Ken's show? Because first of all, I can't win the prizes.
I tried to tell him that wasn't you.
Exactly. You know what it is? Dr. Ken's getting old. I swear that was Sherwin. I know it's you, Sherwin. No, it was not. I was very busy.
This is a boomer moment.
There it is. No, whenever that person called, and maybe they sounded like me, I don't know. But at the time, because somebody texted me like, oh, Sherwin, Dr. Ken said that you called to try to be on his trivia show. I was like, no. I was very busy. I was doing busy things.
Are you driving around?
I was in transit, yes. I was on my way somewhere. I mean, I guess I technically could have called from my vehicle, but no, I wouldn't do that. I was very busy. I had to keep my mind focused on where I was going and the task at hand.
Listening to music.
Private prison companies explicitly profit from contracts with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection to detain immigrants. I want you to know that deporting these people is not what they're doing. They're building new facilities. They're allocating billions and billions of dollars to detain these people until they can confine them in private prisons so the private prisons can make money off of the detainees. That's why they're not going after the worst of the worst, because there's not enough of them. These private prisons need hundreds of thousands of people to fill these facilities. The immigration detention system in the U.S. is heavily reliant on the private sector, with roughly 90% of individuals in ICE custody held in facilities run by for-profit companies since late 2025. This is a significant revenue stream. Contracts with ICE are a major source of revenue for the two largest private prison corporations, CoreCivic and the Geo Group. The Geo Group made $1.05 billion from ICE contracts alone, and CoreCivic made $552.2 million. Executives from these private prison corporations have stated that their business models are, quote, perfectly aligned with the demand for immigration detention services and have described the current environments as, quote, an unprecedented opportunity to make profit. Why are we detaining them if we're supposed to be getting them out of the country? See, that's the thing that they're doing. They're keeping them in the country. Expansion and investment. In response to increased demand from the federal government, these two companies have invested in expanding their capacity, including reopening closed facilities, signing new contracts with the Trump administration, and adding more beds to existing private prisons. Guaranteed minimums. Contracts often contain, quote, guaranteed minimum provisions or bed quotas, which require the government to pay for a certain number of beds, whether they are occupied or not, ensuring a steady revenue stream for the companies. The stock market reaction. Stock prices of CoreCivic and Geo Group have seen significant jumps following political developments that signal an increase in immigration enforcement and detention, such as the 2024 presidential election sent both stocks soaring. Because they knew that Trump was going to use these two private corporations to detain migrants. Profit maximization in these facilities often involves cost-saving measures, which critics and advocates argue can lead to understaffing, inadequate or non-existent medical care, poor conditions, and human rights violations. In addition to daily rates paid by the federal government to these corporations with American tax dollars, companies can profit from detainees through services like phone calls and commissary sales, where goods are often sold at inflated prices. They also benefit from, and here's the big one, detainee labor, for which individuals are paid as little as $1 a day for 8 hours of work. Take a break, come back. Mark Chambers, the alderman of the 2nd District in the city of Milwaukee, is going to be in studio talking about the Black History program at City Hall. And I don't know, probably other aldermanic stuff too. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Sometimes justice looks different to me. Do you want them in jail for murdering Corey Stingley? Yes, you do. Do you want them to go to trial for what they did and go through that process? Hey, you know. But at the end of the day, the men that took Corey Stingley's life, something happened to where they have to accept the fact that they did that and that they have to be labeled a murderer for a certain length of time and when it was nothing, I think that was a huge thing that happened when you had to climb mountains to get to this point. 13 years?
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
The world can be a lonely place when you're just a name without a face. You can disappear without a trace and be gone.
The award-winning 101.7 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we're honoring the voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in for Dr. Ken's Trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know, and Tory Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth. Tune in all month long as 101.7 The Truth lifts up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history, because it's not just Black history, it's happening every day, and it's American history. 101.7 The Truth celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union. And in the studio, I have Alderman Mark Chambers. Is his mic on? Say something.
I believe it is.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
You are here to do a couple of things.
Absolutely.
Yell at people. No, talk about the City of Milwaukee Common Council Black History Program, where tomorrow you can get closer to your microphone.
Absolutely.
There you go.
There we go.
Do I get to give a speech? I'm being honored tomorrow. So when I arrive, when do I take the microphone and give my speech, in which, of course, I first got to thank God. So how long do I get to speak? 45 minutes, an hour?
You can speak however long you want to speak.
Okay.
After 1:30.
Oh, so when the program is over, you guys aren't going to let me get on the mic and speak?
Oh, we're honoring you, though. That's for sure.
Well, I do appreciate that. And, it's always nice to have your work and your dedication to the community recognized. So I thank you and your colleagues for this distinct honor and this pleasure. And you all are invited, Mark. I heard there's going to be food.
There will be food. There'll be a significant amount of food, actually.
Well, then everybody come eat. Come hang out with me.
Absolutely.
Zach, you can't come. You got to be here working.
I'm coming with you.
Hey, Zach, come through.
I got to come document it for
I got you.
Or the station.
I got you. We got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
I just got to be back by 4. That's all.
All right. Well, Denise Thomas also is going to be here tomorrow, and Denise she's probably going to try and tag along with me. Well, Denise will jump on my back, actually, probably. Anyways, enough about that. What's going on, Mark Chambers? How you doing, man?
No, thanks for having me, Sherwin. It's always good to come on your show and, promote some things that were going on in the city, and not only within the second district as well. So you are correct, as you mentioned earlier. You are one of the 28 days of Milwaukee's Black History. I do hold advanced copy of the program that people that are coming tomorrow. So we are, officially celebrating our 10th annual Black History Month within the city, but it's also, with those know, the 100th year, the century of Black History Month. Started off as Black History Week, and now it's Black History Month. And so we're honored and celebrated, and dedicated to doing what's best for Milwaukeeans and Black cultures in general. So as mentioned, the one and only Sherwin Hughes is one of our 28 days of Milwaukee Black History, where we selected 28 prominent Black, Milwaukeeans to just give them, shine a light on what the work they're doing amongst the city and the impact that they are leaving in our communities. But what I also want to highlight is the Emerging Leader Award, which is being honored by Zoe Chambers, no relation. She's a senior at Golden Meyer that's doing some significant work within the youth realm. Also, the Living Legend Ward is, the one and only Mayor Marvin Pratt.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So Mayor Pratt is going to be honored tomorrow as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Mark, can you tell us some of the other individuals that you all have selected as a council that are going to be honored this month? Some notable folk?
Absolutely. So, we are honoring the Commando, former Alderman Mike McGee Sr., we also honor Mikhail Holt from Milwaukee Community Journal, the one and only Homer Blow. Homer Blow is definitely getting honored. He did receive his flowers as well. Our dearly departed Mark Sane have done tremendous work in, being a firefighter and also in the community space. He recently passed in November. Tamara White from Delicious Bites. We honored Judge Russell Stamper, Sr., and Dr. Jacqueline Howe, which was actually my son's pediatrician. We were, able to honor those individuals. And there's plenty more that are well-deserving of the 28 days of Black history within the city of Milwaukee. So congratulations to all those that have been honored. They will get their full day on the city channel and our city website and all of our social medias. I don't know what day yours is, but
let's find that out.
Let you know.
Should I wear a suit tomorrow?
Come as you are, sir. Come as you are. There will be more than enough food. It's being catered by two different locations. One by Delectable by Donna, who's done some amazing work as far as catering, and Emmy African cuisine. I should say.
That's good food there.
Oh yeah, Emmy is.
It's free.
It is free and open to the public. Tomorrow from noon to 1:30.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you guys again.
Yep. And then following that, if I may, we also have our networking event. It's my creation when I created it when I was elected in 2022, which is the Power Hour networking event. That is the same day from 5:30 to 7:30. It's a networking event that allows community members and like-minded individuals to congregate and network amongst the community, because there's some important people here and there are some great minds that, if they have a space to come into, which is the People's House, which is City Hall, we should give them a space to do that, and that's what Power Hour creates. So there will be free food and beverages there as well.
Y'all got plenty of money to be giving away free.
Those are donated.
Right.
Everything is donated. I can give you the sponsors if you want to, Mr. Hughes.
Maybe we should highlight. Do we have the sponsors on the list? Let's
man.
talk about the folks that are sponsoring and catering the food for a full day of events tomorrow at City Hall, beginning at noon, where I am one of the honorees for Black History Month. And then your networking event from 5 until 7 p.m.
5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 until 7:30 p.m. So if you miss my event, go to Mark Chambers' event.
Absolutely.
And eat for free. Who are some of the sponsors?
So we got the City of Milwaukee African American Employee Business Resource Group. Summerfest is a sponsor. Visit Milwaukee, which is a sponsor of this show.
Oh, I like Visit Milwaukee. Those are my people.
Yep. Ascension, Amundsen Davis Law Firm, and Molson Coors are sponsors of the Black History Program and Power Hour as well. And they are returning sponsors from previous years as well. So
beautiful.
Thank you to those who sponsor and believe in the mission that, our Black voices need to be continually lifted in this day and age.
And this is a unique place for the city of Milwaukee because we have got an amount of black leadership in this city that I don't know if even some of the people that are being honored this month ever could have imagined. Black sheriff and police chief and mayor and county executive and majority black membership on the common council and the chairwoman of the county board and just black leadership even in corporate Milwaukee. But when I say that, and those are all worthy accomplishments that are testament to the dedication and the hard work of our people, that does not mean that racism takes a day off. And far too many of us think because we have black elected officials and black leaders that racism is going to slow down. If there's one example that I can give to show you that racism actually gets more severe when black people obtain leadership positions, it's going from 2 terms of Barack Obama to going to Donald Trump. You would think that the country would be so much more comfortable with African-American leadership, that they would be electing more African-Americans, and maybe Kamala Harris would have won in 2024. But actually the opposite is true. And for the individuals that say, oh, Milwaukee is still in bad shape and black Milwaukee is suffering, and we have all these black leaders do not negate nor take away racism. So I have to make sure I give that public service announcement. Well, I have you here, Alderman Chambers. Why don't we do this? You got some time, I'm assuming? Okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back. I want to ask you about something that I don't want it to be controversial, but it seems like it is. You have heard the complaints and you've seen the accidents and the property damage and the deaths from reckless driving. Well, there's been a law change to where now, first offense, someone can get their vehicle towed and the fines are very, very large. Now, there are some people that are saying, well, that's not fair because it might heavily impact African Americans, these new reckless driving rules and laws that, if I'm not mistaken, were supported by a number of your colleagues, even though it was a state law change. So I want to talk about your thoughts and feelings on, some people potentially losing their vehicles, getting their vehicles towed because of the new reckless driving state law. That and whatever else you'd love to discuss. Alderman Mark Chambers in studio. He represents the good people of the 2nd Aldermanic District. Don't go anywhere. Me and him will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, your money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor, success coach, and published author for On the Journey with Coach Erica. This month's episode airs Tuesday, February 17th at 6 p.m. and dives into the powerful topic, why real estate is a mindset before it's a move. Coach Erica welcomes special guests Jeff and Jasmine Webster, real estate investors with Live Well Properties, for an inspiring conversation on building wealth from the inside out. Tune in live to On the Journey with Coach Erica on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We need to optimize the PID controller for smoother robotic movements.
Our data analysis shows a significant correlation between the variables in both control groups.
The test shows you've experienced an acute myocardial infarction.
As you'll see on the syllabus, this course will largely focus on the Mesozoic era.
Get your child the access every child deserves. Enroll your K through 8th grade child by February 28th at Milwaukee College Prep, mkeprep.com/enroll.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm changing my music up a little bit because the first hour of the show I was playing Bad Bunny. He's got some good music, Mark. You was telling me, you was trying to tell me he got some decent little songs.
Well, my son's a senior at a high school, and he taught himself Spanish by Duolingo. And
the app.
Yeah, and now he's taking AP Spanish literature.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hear Bad Bunny quite often.
Makes me feel like I should have paid more attention in Spanish class. There are many issues that are impacting our community, including most of us only being monolingual. But since you were elected in 2023. 22.
Yep.
You came into office with a constituency that probably, and we were still dealing with COVID.
Yep.
What do you think were the top maybe three issues that your constituents were concerned about when you took office in August, right?
November.
No, I can't get. You won the election in August.
Yeah, I won the primary in August, and I was elected to the term in November 2022.
What were the top issues then compared to now?
Reckless driving, public safety, economic stability.
Do you think those issues are still top 1, 2, and 3 now?
Absolutely.
Where do you think reckless driving ranks, especially with new legislation that was passed that we hope is going to help curb reckless driving? So is reckless driving still up there?
It is most certainly up there. I would probably put economic stability as number 1 now, and then reckless driving would be number 2, at least for the 2nd district, because since I've been elected, I've have over 175 pieces of legislation that varies from a majority of things. One in particular is the reckless driving piece, that law that was changed. Myself and Alderman Lamont Westmoreland, President Jose Perez, we were the drivers of getting that rule changed, because within our city, there were a lot of people who were literally just disobeying the law just blatantly, and people don't get the calls we do. I'm proud to sit here and say that my district and the entire city has the most traffic calming measures within the city. I'm proud to say that I've moved over $1.8 million just for traffic calming measures to take the load off of individuals and residents and taxpayers, where they would have been responsible for 50%. Now they're only responsible for 10% of paying for a bump out or a traffic circle. One of my most dangerous intersections was on 64th and Villard. Now, a lot of people are extremely upset about a roundabout that's there right now, but I have a lady who lives right there on the corner with the fence that had her fence destroyed 4 times in the last 18 months by someone driving over 80 miles per hour. It's unacceptable.
I know that when we take on the issue of reckless driving and car theft and all the other associated property crimes, our phone lines light up. So I know that people were frustrated because they would oftentimes vent their frustration on air. So yourself, along with your colleagues, lobbied for a stronger state law that now allows for the police to essentially confiscate and tow somebody's vehicle after their first offense of reckless driving. And I believe it increased the fine and the penalty. What do you say to people that say, well, that's too harsh? The fine is too big and it's not fair that someone's vehicle can get towed?
I will say talk to the people who've been impacted by those making the mistakes. One person that I can think in particular, actually 2 people, the person who ran the red light on 60th and Fond du Lac that caused 5 people to get killed on Mother's Day of 2024. Think about the mother who was teaching her son how to drive right there on 51st and Capitol. Tell it to those families that one mistake, one ounce of pressure on that gas pedal, and one weave out or baselining can change lives significantly.
An off-duty Milwaukee police officer, if I'm not mistaken, was killed at the intersection in your district.
Yes, on 60th and Capitol. Another one that just got killed, a paramedic from Bell Ambulance in my district on 76 and Glendale recently.
Have we noticed a decrease in reported reckless driving incidents with what you call the traffic calming measures, which is everything from roundabouts to bump outs, which can be very inconvenient? I know that they're inconvenient, or even speed bumps. Yeah. Do they work?
They do. In the 2nd District alone, traffic accidents have came down about 26%, I want to say. That's just the last information I got from our Vision Zero director, Jessica Weinberg. Now, a lot of people are upset with the bump outs, and I get it. I understand it. It's an inconvenience. You got to make a wide right turn. And I understand that poles are going to get knocked down, and we were just wasting money or anything of that nature. It's about the behavior changes that needs to be, fixed. I'm a strong proponent of the red light cameras that Senator Dora Drake is pushing within the state. I actually testified in the Senate committee about it, myself and Alderman Peter Bergelis. We have to try something. We have to use what we have within our tool belt in order to do something. Because if we don't, then the costs are going to come more. The tragedy is going to be more, effective. And right now it's just we need to change our behaviors, myself included. It's tough that we're talking about this because people should just understand, like, hey, leave your house early if you need to get somewhere in a rush, or, better time management skills need to be, play a factor in that as well.
We are probably more distracted when we are driving than ever before, because I remember when you didn't have all of the electronics and all of the screens in vehicles, so there's that. And while it can be inconvenient to have these traffic calming measures, one thing it does do is it makes you pay more attention to the road, especially if you've been used to driving on a particular street. Maybe you're not on that street for a couple of weeks, you have a different route, and you're used to driving on this street, and there didn't used to be a speed bump there, and you would travel 35, 40 miles an hour down this street, which we know was too fast. You will hit that speed bump only one time at 35 or 40 miles an hour, and from that point forward, you will slow down. Something else that people have complained about is the increase in car insurance in certain zip codes in the city. Now, some of it is these car insurance companies taking advantage of us because in the state of Wisconsin, it is mandatory that you have car insurance. But I know another part of why the insurance rates have gone up is the number of claims. If there's a lot of accidents in your neighborhood, in your zip code, in a particular area, they are going to put a heavier premium on insuring vehicles, especially if you have teen drivers. So, and I've heard people complain about that as well. So I'm hoping that with reduced claims and reduced accidents, we might see some easing, or at least fewer rate increases, because we got to admit there's a ton of accidents in certain neighborhoods in the city, which has led to higher insurance rates. And I know because you're paying for a teenage driver, and that ain't fun.
I am, and but I mean to counter that, with the insurance claims, I mean I feel like insurance is a borderline scam in my opinion. I think they do their job where they're supposed to protect those people. We pay enough money; it can be years for someone not to file a claim, and that very one moment they file a claim, our insurance goes up $300-400, for 6 months. That's overkill right now. Like, prime example, full transparency, my son got into his first accident roughly a month ago. It was, he was driving to school, wasn't speeding, so he didn't get cited for anything like that. Hit a sheet of black ice, and he slid and hit something. They totaled out. I guarantee you our insurance is about to go up. Guaranteed. I'm almost certain that it's about to go up. Now, he had his license for 2 years and have not got a speeding ticket, drive safe, both hands on the wheel, hands free on phones, because, we taught him that. But, some have to be done with that as well. So, to your point, I understand it, but, there can be something that can change on that as well.
Something else we're always concerned about in the city of Milwaukee? Crime. Do you have any advanced knowledge that you can share with the audience about ICE coming to the city of Milwaukee like we have seen them deployed in other cities? Because we've seen a lot of the rumors and, they just booked 100 hotel rooms at the Hilton. Do you, as a member of the council, have any advanced knowledge of ICE coming to Milwaukee in full force?
No.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't see where the history and the data shows that they will come here. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be ready.
They're building a facility in your colleague's district, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Absolutely. And which is that's a problem and a half that we all have.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we have to make sure that our residents know that we are fighting for them, but we have to fight for them within our realm because federal law trumps state law and state law trumps city law. So, but I say all that to say that no, I don't think ICE is coming. If they come, we need to be ready. Do I say we need to fan a flame or a flag like, here, pick us? Absolutely not. But, when they come, we have to handle it accordingly and do the best for our people and our residents in the city. And we have to make sure that we hold our law officials or our law officers accountable to make sure that they are, doing local cases as opposed to federal. They're not federal agents. They are here to cover the well-being of our residents in the city of Milwaukee.
Got 30 seconds left. Tomorrow, starting at noon.
Yep.
City of Milwaukee Common Council Black History Program. I am going to be honored.
Yep.
Everybody come on down and get some food. It's free food. And I'm going to give a 3-hour speech, I think.
After 1:30. While I got this, I do want to highlight something. There is some legislation that I created called the Good Neighbor Program. The Good Neighbor Program is a partnership with Safe and Sound, where we got $400,000 to help create and build block watch groups. So please go to safeandsound.org, take opportunity, get to know your neighbors, and love one another.
Love one another. From his mouth to God's ears. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'll see you next time.
Listen Fridays to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris during Black History Month for Dr. Ken's Trivia. It's not just questions, it's culture. Facts they don't teach you and a few stories that matter. We'll test what you know and teach each other something new along the way. Lock in your Fridays in February. Be ready to call in